What I'm showing you right now is this is the repo of Guess Who. Guess whose repo is this? Yep, the YouTuber PewDiePie. So the YouTuber PewDiePie, who has no idea how to code, has a repo with 10.5 thousand forks and 80.2 thousand stars. If this isn't a proof of us living in a simulation, then I don't know what is. Even if the idea of the project, this open source app, is good in a way, that doesn't mean that someone who doesn't know how to code will get that many stars and forks just for having a big platform on his back, and he has like a bunch of stands that would like everything he does. So I don't like the idea of a famous YouTuber, which is one of the most famous YouTubers, who also made money. Like, he made all of his platform from playing video games and acting edgy online. Like, it's average idea really. It's just an open source AI app for hosting local AI models on your computer, but it has like some kind of extra stuff like memory and bullshit like that. I tried it and it was really awful in general. I don't like shitting on other people's apps, but when I know someone has vibe coded this app, I'm not gonna trust it or like it because there's no way. I vibe coded a bunch of apps and they are all subpar. I don't like them, to be honest. I just don't really like using them because like vibe coded apps are just trash and they're full of bugs that are really small but really awful stuff, like stuff that would ruin the experience of the application or website. And like, if you probably made like millions of dollars and all of this, and you're still trying to jump on other people's stuff, like other people's work. You're taking work from other people, which is kind of silly anyway. Even if it's open source and he doesn't like want money from it, which is good, by the way. I'm not saying like he's the worst guy ever, but he can do better with his money and his platform. And I know this stars and forks doesn't mean anything probably to him, but that's not the point. The point of the GitHub platform is having code bases or apps that are really great. A great example for coding in general. They shouldn't only be about like a great app that works but sucks, like has very bad user experience, and the code in it isn't up to the standards of whatever it is. And I saw it before when I started using it. It was just JavaScript. So it was one file before people coming in and starting to contributing to this project that he apparently asked AI to write, to say it bluntly. And to show you something, that we have Godot engine, which is a game engine that is really huge, and it's on par with Unity and Unreal Engine, maybe. Not the same like the graphical quality, but I'm not gonna go through all these details, you know. It's as popular as them, at least. And this Godot engine, which is a programming masterpiece with its complexity and the work that was put in it. I mean, just looking at the images, you can see how complex it is. And as you can see, the stars are 113,000 stars. In comparison, he has 80, but it's very close. And it has 25.8k, and this one has 10.5k forks, which is good, because I honestly don't really see the whole point of working on this project. It needs a lot of work, and they are trying to, like, just because PewDiePie did it, or just because PewDiePie started it, so everyone jumped on that wagon. At least all those bot devs that use Claude and, you know, acting like they are doing the world a favor. You know, to each his own. I don't have a personal problem, but that's my opinion. And I don't really dislike PewDiePie or like him, but that's just my opinion on this whole situation. That like a random YouTuber that used to just make rage bait content or edgy streams, whatever gaming streams, you know what he did in the past when he used to play PUBG. And we have another repo on GitHub, which is the SDL, which is one of the greatest, which is the one I'm using to make my 2D game from scratch using C++, and I'm using SDL. And it has only 16,000 stars and 2.8 thousand forks, which is much greater than this Odysseus app that he made, because this one, like, you can make anything with it. You can display anything. You can make any media app on your machine. So yeah, I don't like the idea just of anyone jumping into coding without learning it, without learning his craft, and getting that much attention and those amount of stars and forks on GitHub, because GitHub shouldn't be like those repos, those GitHub repos shouldn't be like that. It should be written by coders. I mean, looking at his website, you can see that it's AI generated by just the whole, how it works, the whole user experience stuff, like this button. You have to move your mouse to switch between them. The width gets larger if the text is larger. You can see it. Same here. You can see it has extended, and this one is gonna repeat, and you can see it's extending the window, and extended here the bottom of the page of the container, of this whole container. And whatever this is, yeah, this doesn't look good without opening them. Just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he did. Like, just because something is open source, that doesn't mean it's a good app. That doesn't mean it's a great app just because it's an open source app. I'm not against open source or with open source, but just because someone popular who isn't even a coder made something that is open source should be like celebrated and made a huge fuss on it. But just because someone has like, I don't know how many million subscribers and how many million views he gets, made something open source, is gonna get like so much attention. I just don't see it that interesting. I don't see this app as interesting as those numbers that I'm seeing. And running local LLMs, you have to have like a great computer. You have to have like 16 gigabytes of VRAM. You have to have like a good CPU and a bunch of RAM, like 32, 16 something, I don't know, gigabytes of RAM to run like good models. And yeah, it's having local models aren't even that great unless you have like a great machine. Using the free online stuff is much better. To each their own. If someone wants to run locally for privacy reasons, then that's their decision.